which option would you choose? Option 1 or option B? Option 1 is that you're given $1 million. It's yours, you get to keep it, it's tax-free, spend it how you want, buy the car that you want, the house that you want, you get to give it away, maybe you get to clear your debts, and you get to create that sense of security for yourself and never worry about money, right? Would you choose that? Or option B, which is basically someone's going to teach you the laws of reality, and it's also going to teach you how to make money. Okay, for 30 days, right? You're going to spend 30 days with this person. Which one would you choose? Okay, leave your comment below and let me know which one you would choose and why you would choose it. So I was lucky and fortunate enough back in 2017 to spend 30 days with a spiritual millionaire, and he taught me the laws of reality, but also he taught me how to make a whole ton of money. And so back then I was on this special forum called the Warrior Forum, right? The Warrior Forum was all about internet marketing and business and how to get traffic and visitors online and how to do PPC advertising and drop shipping and all of this cool stuff about online business. And so I got to participate in this forum. It was really scary at the time. I'm a young black kid, you know, with no education pretty much, and I'm dyslexic, attention deficit, and autistic nature. And so why would I become successful in this forum? Okay, I had a lot of anxiety. I saw people really successful in there, and the people on there were, you know, more like the corporate aggressive type. You know, when you see like Shark's Tank or The Apprentice here in the UK, or, you know, you see the corporate world, if you've ever been a part of it, sometimes it's really strong and masculine energy. And so, you know, it was an environment that was quite intense sometimes with people's replies, and the way that we replied to people was really aggressive. And so I got to become a part of this forum, and I was scared to post on there, and eventually I started to build up some courage, ask questions and stuff like this. And sometimes I'll get some replies that hurt, right? And so anyway, I built up some skin, you know, some tough skin, and I was able to participate on there and actually become quite known and popular in the community. And so as I started to grow, I started selling my own products. My first ever product was called Story Selling Advantage, and I got to sell this to the people, and I made a bit of money. Nothing life-changing. At the time I was working a 9-to-5 job as a forklift driver, and all I could think about was how I could have more time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. And so I would go into work every day dreaming about making this happen. Eventually I went part-time in my job, and I was able to spend more time on the business because I saw it was generating some money, right? And so I was like, okay, if I get more time to spend on the business and I went part-time in my job, then maybe I can go ahead and, you know, go full-time and be completely free to do what I want, when I want, and live a life of freedom. Okay, so that's what I did. You know, I went part-time. I was able to make more money in my business than I did at my job, and I was able to quit my job, even though that was really, really scary and really, really difficult. It got to the point where a guy messaged me. His name's Oliver, and he messaged me on this forum. He's now called the Spiritual Activator, and he messaged me on this forum, and he's like, I want to help you make more money, right? And so he was a coach, and he was coaching other people, and he had some amazing testimonials from people that I saw in the industry who were really successful. And I was like, wow, Oliver worked with this person and this person and this person. So it really intrigued me at the time because I was doing well for myself. And I thought, why not grow a little bit more, right? And so eventually I reached out to him. I was actually in Cyprus at the time traveling. He reached out to me a few times, and he was just talking to me as a friend. And so like he was genuinely like helping me and like showing me some stuff and the things that I could do. And he was sharing stuff with me which was, you know, out of the box. And so it was difficult for me to understand that, you know, a young black guy with attention deficit disorder, with dyslexia, with hardly any education, why would people buy from me at the prices he was talking about? He was talking about, hey, like, you can make $25,000 in a single day. And I'm like, how? Like, how is that possible? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly the way that he thinks, so you really understand the concepts, right? But I was just like, whoa, this is like mind-blowing and really too much. information right now, and like I'm in this like sort of disbelief, if that makes any sense. I'm in this sense of like, is this even possible for me? Who am I to make this amount of money, right? Who am I? And so eventually he kept on talking to me, and he was breaking down my belief systems. And I started to open my mind to the idea that this is possible. I still felt anxiety, I still felt resistance, but I started to open my mind to understanding that this can be possible. So he told me, hey, like if you want to work with me one-on-one, it's $40,000. And I'm like, what? $40,000? I don't have that kind of money to spend on one coach, right? And so we kept on talking, and we negotiated a deal, and I can't remember how much I paid him, but it was in the four-figure range, the low four-figure range. And he negotiated that like, I'm gonna earn 50% of your business, right? The new business that we're starting together, right? And so he taught me everything that he knew. I set it up straight away, very fast, which is one of the tips that I'm gonna be sharing with you. Right, I set out really fast, and within a week I had made in the low four-figure range, and he saw how quickly I was making money, right? And inside of me, I was like really excited. I was like, wow, but also very anxious at the same time. And I had this gut feeling that, hey, like I need to work closer with this guy. Like I need to meet this guy in person. That would be really cool to meet him. I think the money would grow much faster, and we would start this business and really grow it really fast. And so I had this feeling, and he actually said it before me, hey, you should come out to Texas, let's hang out and let's build this business together, right? I was like, wow, like I manifested this, right? I created this, and I was out there within 2 weeks. I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks I was out in Texas, and I was there for 1 month. And as soon as I landed and I got to meet him, we went to a restaurant, right? And in this restaurant, we ordered the food. It was in a Chinese restaurant. We ordered the food, right? And the food comes, right? The waiter brings the food. It's like, here's your dish, whatever, right? Do you need anything else? He goes away, and then he's like, okay. He closes his eyes and he puts his hands over the food, right? And I'm like, what is this guy doing? He didn't tell me what he was gonna do, by the way. He just put his hands over the food. And by the way, this is a crowded restaurant. There's loads of people. He closed his eyes, put his hand over the food, and he's just staying there for like 30 seconds. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So for me, it was a little bit embarrassing. I'm like, why is he doing this? I'm really confused. He opens his eyes and he starts eating, and talking to me like nothing happened, right? And I'm like, what is this guy doing, right? And so I got curious, and I asked him, hey, like, what was you doing just then? And he's like, oh, I was just blessing the food. All right, it's like, yeah, I was putting positive energy into the food, blessing it with prosperity and love and gratitude and stuff like this. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, right? And so he started to tell me this process of what he does every time he eats, right? And so what he does is he puts his hands over the food, right? And he imagines either white energy or gold energy coming into his body and filling up his entire being. And so this energy is coming from source or God or the universe, right? It's coming in through his body, and it's filling him up, and it's coming through his hands into the food. And so he now blesses the food with prosperity, with love, with gratitude. And then he thanks the waiter, he thanks the chef who cooked the food, he thanks the people who grew the food, who the truck driver, that he gives thanks to the whole process that it took to get that food sitting in front of him, right? And so he puts positive energy into the food, and then he consumes it. Really powerful stuff. And so he didn't directly teach me this, like it wasn't like a part of the training or anything like that. It's just like he was just being him. And this is something that I really want you to understand about the law of exposure. When you expose yourself to an environment that has the success that you want, you automatically learn indirectly and directly, right? You absorb certain energies, certain frequencies that you would never have access to before. So for example, if you want to live in a mansion, I'm not saying that you need to live in a mansion, right? Some people don't desire that. Some people don't want that. But let's say that you did desire it. Going to those showrooms where you actually get to go to the mansion and just check it out. You should be doing that. You should be visiting and feeling what it feels like to be in a mansion if you've never been in a mansion before. If you want a certain type of car, go test drive that car. Go sit in that car in the showroom so you can feel and experience what it's actually like. right? So for me, I felt what it's like to expose myself to being a millionaire because I'm sitting right next to the guy for 30 days. Well, I'm experiencing him for 30 days, right? And so now I'm in the reality. I'm so much closer to the reality that I want because I can see it directly in front of me. Does that make sense? So this is the first thing that I learned, is that you want to put positive energy into your water, into your food, and just into your day in general, right? And so you want to treat your day with positive energy. Always put positive energy into other people and yourself, right? You got to watch the way that you think and the way that you feel. So the second thing he started to teach me is money loves speed. Money loves speed. We think that it's going to take work and effort in order to make a substantial amount of money, right? But that's not entirely true. What if it didn't require more work? What if you could get more money with the same amount of work or even less work? Okay. And so I was charging for my one-on-one coaching at the time $500. And he told me, hey, you can sell it for $10,000, $25,000. And he said it's literally the same effort, but you just continue doing what you're doing. You're just changing your prices and changing your offer. And so for me, this was like, really? Like, who on earth is going to give me $25,000? Who am I? And it was confusing to me, and I didn't understand it until I made my very first sale at $25,000. Yeah. Me, I made $25,000 in a single day. In fact, I've done it multiple times now. And this is not by accident. This is not by chance. This is by law. And so the speed of implementation is understanding that if you were to message right now on Instagram or Facebook or something like this, and you had a really good offer and you messaged 5,000 people or 10,000 people, one of those people is going to give you $25,000, or maybe two people in that, right? And that's a lot of people to message, right? And I'm not saying that's the strategy here, but what I am saying is that if you do things right and you message the right people, you can literally make $25,000 right now. So as long as you have something that they want and a really good offer in exchange for the money that they're purchasing. So for me, we created an experience for someone where they was like $25,000 is small amount of money for what we were given in exchange. And so this is the law of reciprocity, right? The law of reciprocity is understanding that if you give away more than you're expecting, you actually get to keep more. What you give away, you get to keep, okay? So we have to understand that most of us are focused on taking, consuming, rather than giving and creating. And so we created something of high value that people would want. If you want to make $10,000, find a way to create something of value at $100,000. So the $10,000 looks small. Does that make sense? And so this is what he helped me do, is understand that if you move fast and don't think and message 5,000 people, or you create the product straight away and you create the offer straight away, you will make money quicker. And what most people do is they go slow on implementation. They think about it. Oh, I feel anxiety, or I feel resistance, or I don't feel like doing it right now. I'm not prepared, or I need the right camera, or I need my business cards first, or I need to do this. I need my website. At the time when I made the $25,000, I didn't have a website. Okay, I didn't have business cards. I didn't have any of this stuff. But yeah, I made $25,000 in a single day, right? And so the thing that he taught me is that go fast. So remember I told you, literally within a week, I was making money. Because he saw that, immediately he wanted me to come out to Texas, which led to more money. See how that works? And so people don't move fast enough, right? They delay, they think about it. They focus on what they're feeling, their emotions. I feel anxiety, which is one of the tips I'm going to be sharing with you in a sec, because I had crippling anxiety, right? So this is the second tip, speed of implementation. Money loves speed. You have to be able to move fast on things. Otherwise, someone else is going to take the opportunity. Does that make sense? So the third thing here that I'm about to share with you is something that I actually knew already, and I was already using it, but when I saw him using it, it just amplified everything, because it's like a confirmation, because this guy was using the exact same strategy I was using to manifest money. And basically I was using the Shri Yantra, SRIYANTA, Shri Yantra. This is sacred geometry, and sacred geometry can be used to amplify your results in different areas of life. And the Shri Yantra is basically used for manifestation. It's a very, very powerful manifestation tool that taps directly into your subconscious mind to manifest your intent. And so you can literally go on Google right now, or even on YouTube here, and find Shri Yantra meditations with mantras and stuff like that. You can check them out and do your own research on it. But basically, you can go on Google, get the image, download it, and start using it right away. And basically, all you need to do is look into the center of the Shri Yantra and repeat an affirmation, repeat a statement, a thing that you want to create or manifest, and repeat it over and over and over again. They say to do a cycle of 108 times, and you can use the mala beads if you want to do that. But basically, like, this is what I was using at the time and what helped us manifest the $25,000 in a single day. But basically, he used the exact same tool to manifest money. Okay, and so never necessarily taught me it, but seeing him use it as well is like, damn, like, this guy uses sacred geometry. Lo and behold, about a year later, he actually taught me some other complex Shri Yantra stuff. Well, not Shri Yantra, but sacred geometry stuff to heal your body, to heal emotions, to heal subconscious patterns and stuff like that, which is too complex for me to share in this video. And he knew that stuff all along without even telling me. Okay, so that's the third tip I want to share with you, is that you can use the power of sacred geometry. Okay, you can go research it more and use the power of sacred geometry in your life to manifest your intention. All right, very, very powerful stuff. Use the Shri Yantra. So you would never believe this, but during this whole process, I had crippling anxiety, crippling bad anxiety. And a lot of the time, people don't become successful because they focus too much on how they are feeling and how scary something is. Right? And so this was the first ever time I was selling over the phone. I'd never learned phone sales. Well, I found it even hard to communicate with people and, calling my, cell phone service, like when you call T-Mobile or, AT&T or whatever. I was scared to call these people. I had anxiety about calling those people when there was something wrong with my bill, right? And so imagine me calling someone and asking for 3K, 10K, 25K, right? It just seems like impossible, right? And so I found myself leaning over my bed. Right? I found a way to deal with the anxieties. I found myself leaning, like when you can put your knees on the floor and you can lean on your bed like this. So I was leaning over my bed like that, and my laptop was on top of the bed. And I would literally speak to people with my head, my knees down and my head over, I was literally speaking to people and leaning back and forward and like this and doing these calls. I had crazy crippling anxiety. Now, I'm not saying that you should force yourself through those emotions in order to have success. What I'm saying is, don't let feelings and emotions stop you. Now, looking back on it, what I would do differently is I would deal with the anxiety by getting a coach, doing some therapy, maybe some EFT, maybe some subconscious reprogramming. Now I have my own tools to reprogram. I have my own process called neutrality shifting, which is extremely powerful for removing emotions, from shifting identity, and literally transforming your whole worldview and your identity. So it's extremely powerful, and I do that. But at the time, I didn't let it stop me. It didn't let it stop me from achieving what I want. And I think a lot of people who are successful, they have these feelings, they have these emotions, but the difference is, they don't listen. They're aware of them, but they don't identify with them. They're not saying, I am an anxious person, and because I have anxiety, I can't do this. It's like, oh, my body has anxiety, or I'm feeling this emotion right now, but it's not me. It's just nerves. It's just a little bit of a feeling, right? And sometimes, again, feelings and emotions can be really crippling, right? And I totally understand that. And I was having crippling anxiety, and it can be so much that you can't even move sometimes. You can't even get yourself to do the thing sometimes. And in that case, you need to reprogram yourself. It's just that at the time, I think I was able to push myself through it because there was a sense of accountability, and I was working with someone who's a millionaire. And so it's a bit of a push there. And that's what's so good about having a coach and having accountability, right? No matter what you're feeling, it's like you can push yourself through it and get what needs to get done. And so even though I was feeling this way, we made $80,000 in that month, right? In a single month, made $80,000. And so in 1 month, I made someone's yearly income. In fact, in 1 day, I made someone's yearly income, because $25,000 can be someone's yearly income. And so he was actually sharing with me at the time that he feels anxiety on every call that he does, even though he's been doing it for years, and that it's normal to feel that way. So it's normal to feel that feeling. And so sometimes we expect to feel like it's nothing, and you can get to that point, I think. And I think it's totally possible, but when we feel a little bit of discomfort, we run away from it. And what we want to do is do the opposite, is run towards it. In the book Outwitting the Devil, I think Napoleon Hill would call those feelings and emotions the devil, and run towards God, run towards the universe, run towards the Most High, run towards unconditional love, right? So yeah, we'll leave it there on this tip. Overcome your feelings, just do it anyway. So the last tip that he taught me, and I'm going to share a bonus tip after this, is that you want to clear your energy blocks. He was a very, very powerful healer, and he would give me crystals and stuff like this to build prosperity. But he taught me, you need to clear your chakra system, right? Especially the lower chakras, the root chakra, sacral, and solar plexus. It's if you want material success, all right? You need to clear those chakras. And by clearing out those chakras, by getting a Reiki practitioner or an energy healer or a pranic healer, clearing those chakras is going to assist in doing that. Also, you can just look on YouTube here and just listen to lower chakra frequencies, and that will assist in you manifesting the prosperity that you want. But you want to work on all your chakras anyway, clear them out, clear any old energies, clear out old karma and stuff of this nature. So some of the things I'm sharing with you now is stuff that I learned through my own experience, but what he taught me is it's very important to clear the energy level if you want to manifest and create your reality. I personally have someone working on my chakras multiple days a week, okay? Constantly healing me of anti-prosperity energies, energy blocks, clearing my chakra system to make sure I'm high vibrational all the time. Okay, really powerful stuff, and that's something that you want to check out for yourself. This last and final bonus tip here is that you want to own the frame of your life. Like, this is your life. Take full responsibility for everything that you feel, everything that you think, everything that you want to create, the results that you're getting. Take responsibility. Okay, responsibility is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. If someone else on the external world is treating you negatively, take responsibility for it. Okay, this sounds crazy and backwards, and it sounds like, Gavin, why would I take responsibility for how someone else is treating me negatively? Well, this is one of the secrets that go against how our ego thinks. When I say take responsibility, when someone talks to you in a negative way or they treat you a certain way, we have to understand that that's making us feel a certain way and experience certain emotions and thoughts, right? Those thoughts and emotions, our feelings and emotions, and it's how we feel, and we are responsible for how we feel and think. And so we need to take responsibility for how it's making us feel. And if we continue to hold on to the poison expecting the other person to die, right, it's not gonna work, right? And so it's our vibration, and that's gonna hold us back from creating what we want in our lives. And so I would choose to take responsibility and shift those emotions into what I want it to be. Does that make sense? Again, this is difficult to understand sometimes, that why would I take responsibility for the wars in the world and the challenges in the world and this and my job and my career and how my parents treated me, maybe I was abused sexually and all of this stuff. Why would I take responsibility for that stuff? Because you are feeling it. It's your emotions, your thoughts, your reality, your world, your life. It's yours. What are you gonna do with it? It's yours. It's your prize, right? Life is a gift. That's why they call it the present, right? It's your present. What are you gonna do with it? And so I would choose to shift it. I would choose to heal it. I would choose to think a better thought. I would choose to heal my past. I would choose to heal my karma. I would own the frame on my reality. Once you own the frame and you cultivate your power, now you're able to create your reality even more, and your reality begins to affect others in a really positive and meaningful way. That's it. So if you would like to work with me one-on-one and transform your life in multiple different levels, or you want to check out my other products and services, check out the links in my description. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.